I'm happy to introduce you our blockchain protocol, DAO IPCI, and the Mitigation Token, which is the first cryptocurrency based on our protocol, aiming at scaling up green economy by enabling environmental asset trade. But before I start the presentation, I will ask you to meditate for a second and in your mind just flow a bit, fly away from the planet to space and look at the planet from space. You can see Moscow and think about our planet. Think about that in the middle of the 20th century, only 2 billion people lived on it, but now there are already 7 billion, and each of them, each of us, needs house, needs a car, needs tasty, nutritious food, needs some new clothes, needs an iPhone, and etc., and on and on. But the planet could not longer withstand such burdens and sends us signals. One of them is climate change, the temperature rise, the increase of extreme weather events, the increase of the sea level, and the reduction of food sources for the growing population. So how should we, mankind, keep on living with such a tremendously growing population and such critical environmental problems such as waste, climate change, and others? What do you think we should do? And the answer is, we need to develop the green economy. The green economy that will help us to build more resilient, more sustainable future with less carbon emissions and more sustainable way of doing business and more fair way of doing business. And as you have heard already from other speakers, these instruments, these economic programs and tools are developing across the world. Carbon pricing initiatives are rapidly developing across nations, regions, and cities. You can see at the right graph that from 2004, carbon pricing initiatives globally have risen. And this year, you can see 2017, if China will implement their emissions trading scheme, most of the emissions will be covered by carbon pricing. And also look at the left graph, the green bonds is the fastest growing fixed income asset class. The green bond is an is a bond that is dedicated to financing environmental programs across the globe. And as you can see, China also plays a crucial role in this market. So the green economy is driven by the green finance, and this is true. But this market, unfortunately, has some critical problems. Around 40 different carbon compliance units coexist at the same time under different jurisdictions, and carbon pricing programs differ from nation to nation. These programs are operated by dozens of platforms, registries, tracking services, MRV systems, and exchanges. So far, there was no global framework to be universal, transparent, easy to use, and which would allow both people and business to invest into environmental projects and drive green economy. But we came up of an idea and of an advanced development that you can all be proud of. That is, we are developing a blockchain-based protocol, creating global green finance market, mobilizing funds for environmental and climate change mitigation. We will reach this aim by helping every market player benefit from blockchain and smart contract features. Here is a scheme how our ecosystem works. This ecosystem is based on Ethereum, a blockchain protocol for the other protocols, and also is based on smart contracts that help us to eliminate fraud and double counting, provide for unprecedented transparency, trust, and quality of the green assets and the green economy infrastructure. So anybody, a business representative or people, can do peer-to-peer investments in third-party verified green projects. Their finance will be used to boost green economy and finance green projects. This will result in overall reduction of GHGs and ecological damage. These green assets can be used by both businesses and individuals to offset their ecological and carbon footprints. So our ecosystem has unique features. Our protocol is easy to access, gives easy access to green investment and assets via decentralized application. Using our protocol, you can monitor green investments and their outcomes, and also the supply chain. Our protocol helps to attract investment into green projects without borders and without any limitations. And it gives a possibility of instant establishment and management of decentralized environmental programs. So to say, any environmental program in the world can use our protocol to blockchainize their operations, their functions. We provide blockchainization of corporate, regional, national, and international environmental programs, as well as offsetting of environmental and carbon footprints. Here is a scheme how exactly our decentralized environmental protocol works. It has different roles such as operator, issuer, independent entity, complier, and user. These roles match with the needs of environmental finance market players. It is designed by the environmental market specialists, experts with many years of expertise. So in our ecosystem, there are already participants that are using it. There are 3 environmental programs, one from Great Britain, one from Norway, and there is another one coming from the United States. There are also operators, and Ernst & Young act as independent entities. Our ecosystem is fully tested, and more than that, it has already made the first ever carbon credit transaction using blockchain. Any types of environmental programs can be put into our ecosystem and can attract environmental and climate finance using its features. It's the reforestation projects, renewable energy projects, energy efficiency projects, land use and farming, biogas, and even transport. And now let's talk a bit about the Mitigation Token, MITO, which is an essential element of the DAO IPCI protocol that is increasing the overall sustainability of the program code. To understand that, let's look at the most popular cryptocurrencies, such as Bitcoin and Ethereum. The first one was made to make peer-to-peer transactions, and Bitcoin acts as an inner gold that is used by the ecosystem members. And the second one is Ethereum, which is in fact a global blockchain computer that helps other people develop their decentralized applications and programs. Our token combines all the benefits of these two. And MITO is a digital CO2 carbon price equivalent and DAO IPCI ecosystem value equivalent that can be used not only to transfer environmental units such as carbon credits, green bonds, renewable energy credits, peer-to-peer in our ecosystem, but also it provides market exchange operations with environmental assets. MITO volume correlates with the volume of environmental units in our ecosystem, but the emission limit is formed as total environmental units issued by the ecosystem members, the environmental programs, minus initially issued tokens. 50% of newly issued MITO sales shall be distributed to existing MITO holders. The issuance possible at least 1 year after initial token sale. So We really carefully designed this one using the help of our advisors to make it the real power that drives the ecosystem development and that rises the attraction of climate finance. So the milestones of the project are as follows. The project was started 1.5 years ago, but since then, unlike other blockchain projects, we are not limited only to our idea and announcement of this idea, but we in fact already have the working protocol that is used for the common good. And also we have the working decentralized application. I underline it. Unlike most of the blockchain projects, we already have the minimum viable product, which is already working globally and already made the first ever carbon credit international transaction using blockchain. This is a historical milestone. And as for our development plans, I'm happy to announce that in 2 weeks, we're going to start the pre-sale of the Mitigation Token. And the initial crowd offering will be announced at COP23 in Bonn. We will take part in 2 side events at the international climate negotiations, and we'll announce the initial crowd offering of our token, which will help us to further develop the protocol and to further develop all the processes, the modules and functions with the overall aim to link global environmental markets, to link global environmental green finance markets, and provide for also the supply chain monitoring for big companies. Our team is really qualified and is combined of international experts in terms of blockchain, Ethereum development, and climate finance experts. And we strongly encourage you to join our community in social networks. We have good press coverage all around the world, and we're sure that with your help, if you join the community together with all the speakers that we have now on this panel and with you sitting in this beautiful hall, we can develop the ecosystem further and we can use it for the global common good to combat climate change and environmental crisis. And what is more importantly, I sincerely hope that this advanced technology will find its way and find its application in the Russian Federation, in different regions and nationally. We are ready to test this system in a testing mode, in a pilot mode for pilot carbon markets and carbon regulation programs in Russia. And this is my official proposal to the Moscow government to use our ecosystem just virtually to test how the carbon market can work and how our city can benefit from its features and boost innovations. Thank you very much.